Good morning, welcome to today's RC Coffee Chat. Just as someone pointed out, good evening for your RC Coffee Chat. For those of you based in the Southern Hemisphere. Okay, right, today we have got 7 topics for us to cover. The HobbyKing 12 Days of Christmas have been revealed. And it looks like the predictions are correct, even though they've hidden the pages now. We've got a new wing at sub 15 quid. Banggood Quads, we've got an update on that. An update on the Hornet wing. We definitely have a micro SkyHunter update as well. The motor fell off. And we have, I spotted some servos as well. So we'll get to that in a minute. So let's go back to the beginning. If you haven't seen this yet or not, yesterday I noticed on the HobbyKing website that we could find out what the other pages were very easily, and just so happened to find the other 12 Days of Christmas. And frankly speaking, it was all a bit meh for it. Now, if you want to find out more what's coming over the next 11 days of Christmas, you can find out by watching that video. Just look at my channel and you'll find it. But the one thing to note is that HobbyKing have now changed the access rights on those pages, so they're no longer available unless you go and look on their site today. So if we go off the home page and then go into HobbyKing 12 Days of Christmas, and ta-da-da-da-da, we do have 2 electric bikes. Wow! Just what we always wanted. But if we do go into the planes, now it does say in here, come back every day for a new plane deal in the lead up for Christmas. So there is hope yet that we might have a new model plane on offer today and for the next 10 days or so. So my hopes are not particularly high, if I'm frankly honest, for new models to come out. Those of you which didn't know, if you look on YouTube for whatever that was, that whole Cherokee model, is that if you look it up on YouTube, it's a bit of a flappy bird. There's a bloke ragging it around, and those wings bend a treat. So if you have been and bought yourself a Hall Cherokee, please, for God's sake, put some more carbon fibre in it, because those wings look like they're about to snap off. So fingers crossed for some decent models. Whether Santa delivers, we just don't know. Next topic. A new flying wing for 15 quid or less. Thanks to everybody who spotted this one on Facebook yesterday for posting it. It's a mini rainbow wing, 600mm. Well, that puts it firmly in the bonsai territory. And I do have a slight concern, same as what we had with the other rainbow wings, which is that they really have seemed to have dug back in the wing to try and even out the C of G. Now, I understand why they're doing that, because these are only supposed to be very lightly powered, because I don't know if you can see the size of the motor on there. That is the tiny one. Mind you, it's not here actually. The motor which was supposed to go on the Turnigy Bonsai, or the pot wing, was only meant to be like a little 1612 motor, and I'm sure you, like the rest of us, have completely overpowered them. I don't think this one is going to be up for overpowering, knowing what the rest of the flying wings are like. I have ordered one. We'll find out what it's like when it arrives. I'm not that impressed by the wooden fuselage area in the middle. I don't think I'll be taking that approach this time. Instead, I will see what I can find on Thingiverse and print out a alternative one to go on the back instead. I think that's probably a better idea than the wooden case. The reason being is because you've got to fit your receiver and your ESC underneath there, and it's all a bit fiddly trying to do that, whereas it would be a lot easier to have that on the top. So yeah, new flying wing. We'll see what it's like when it arrives. It should be here within about 10 days or so. So I ordered it yesterday. So fingers crossed it's here with us in a sensible time. But don't forget, we do have Christmas in the way here as well. So that'll be fun. I'll put a link to that one in the video description. Oh, an update on the Banggood Quads. Thank you for everybody's feedback, not only in the comments, but also over on Facebook. They have sent me the Ishin Fatbee FB90. Yeah, looking forward to receiving that one. It is a binding fly, apparently. So we'll see what actually happens with that one. It does run on 2S, which is curious, so it might have a little bit of poke. I don't think it's going to be as mad as my mental quad, which was here somewhere. I don't think it's going to be as mad as that. So we'll see what it's going to be like. Again, maybe having the camera fixed and not being able to move it may be an issue. I don't know. We'll find out when it arrives. What's the next topic which we've got? Oh, Hornet Wing. Let me go and grab my photos now. Let me move that over there a second. Scroll down. Right. Oh, actually, side note topic. These turned up yesterday. These are, I don't know if you remember from a coffee chat a short while ago, maybe about a week or more ago, I spotted some diatone LED bars, the 5730 LEDs. Those arrived, and I can tell you, they are bloody bright, man. They are ridiculously bright. Do I have? I do have them here on my desk. Brilliant. Probably the best way is for me to show you. So I've got photos. But actually, what I can do, let me move my keyboard out of the way. It's a lot easier just to show you, isn't it? So I've got no idea which colour's which, and I am taking extra special attention to get the polarity the right way round. So white is positive, so we'll stuff that in the balance lead, and we'll stick that in there. And it's that bright. Mad. I don't know how bright that is on the webcam, but that is bonkers bright. It does come with a regulator board. I'll get to that in just a moment. So let me just make sure I get these the right way around. So again, I probably should use proper color coding. And there's the blue one. Look how bright that is. Ridiculously bright. And I'm so glad that I bought 2 of each color. I bought 2 red, 2 green, and 2 blue. Let me just put this one on as well. So that one there, you'll notice, is not as bright as the others, and the reason being is that we do have this regulator board down here. Now, all I can work out is that you would only need to use that regulator board is that if you were using 4S by the looks of it, to step the voltage down to 12 volts. Besides that, we are losing about 1 volt across that. So if you run that on 2S, I just so happen to have a 2S battery, is that the LEDs will still click over, so you'll see it's no way as bright as what it was before. If I grab a different one and pop this on here, so what was it? White was positive, so I get this the right way round. If they use the green, you'll see that I know it's a different colour, but if you look at the luminosity of it, or how bright it is, it's much brighter without using the voltage regulator. So you do get this extra board, but you only really need it when you are using 4S rather than 3S. So I won't be using that on my models because I run all mine on 3S. And if we cook them, well, to be honest, they were super cheap anyway. Now, I know that my head's going to be in the way here, so let me move that over the way. So there's the little LED board. You'll see it's about 2.5 centimeters big. And there's that voltage regulator board. It's really, look, you'll see it says 2 to 4S. Frankly speaking, you are unlikely to need that on 3S. Yes, you are going to put some more volts in it. You're going to have a higher voltage going into the LEDs, which are slightly over spec, but there are 2 whacking great big current limiting resistors on the back anyway. And by the time you've ragged the nuts off it, the battery would have sagged loads anyway. So realistically, they are so cheap. I personally won't even bother using the voltage regulator boards on my models, the ones which run on 3S or even 2S, because you just don't need the voltage drop on there. You don't need the regulation, because within a minute's worth of flight time, your battery will be sagging down anyway. But I was immensely impressed with these. You've just seen them on there, and look, you can see how well how badly the camera is trying to cope with the brightness of the light on there. Yeah, look. There is the red. There's the red one with the voltage regulator. We look at the blue one, and it really is blurring out the camera. And the green one, that's on its side. Ridiculously bright. and they are super cheap. So I'll put links to those in the video description. Those literally turned up yesterday. Right, coming back onto topic. The Hornet FPV Flying Wing. Thank you for everybody's comments yesterday to do with the placement of the video transmitter in the Facebook group. Thank you for that. When this one loads eventually. Chop, chop, chop. Right, doesn't appear to be loading. While my computer thinks about that for a few seconds, yesterday the Hornet FPV Flying Wing, I did get it ready to the point that she's now ready for paint today. Oh, there we go. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. You'll see on here what I've been... Right, I made one mistake, and the mistake was I should have put the receiver on the underside so that the paint job took maximum effect on the top. You'll see that I have routed the servo leads and the ESC wire in the actual model itself. We do have the ESC set up on the top. That's the only real place for it to go. And then we'll have a little 1806 motor on the back. We've got the wires running down here. We've got the servo lead running down, which goes off to the other opposite servo. We've got the ESC, which runs down and it gets its power from its board, from the hub OSD board. Now, I'll get to that board in a moment, but just be aware that you've got the camera lead, which comes out. That will go to the camera on the front, and we've got our video transmitter on the left. And if we take a look underneath, or actually, let me just go back. There, can you see that we got the XT60 connector there? That was something which I picked up on my other one. This time around, I've done a really nice, neat job of it, so I can just plug the battery in there, and then it just powers the whole device. Really, really nice solution. You just sit your battery down, stuff the lead in, and you're away. There's no hanging lead waiting for it to be collected. And then we have a look underneath. There is the hub OSD board, which I've actually wired up. I've put the connector on the wrong way up. So, and this is the underside. Oh, and you also see me using those dress pins to hold the lead down while the goop glue keeps that lead down. Now, I know many of you mentioned the Facebook group, like Steve and a couple of the other ones. A couple of other of you in the Facebook group mentioned about it being complicated. Honestly, it's not complicated at all to hook up this as an OSD. So what I'm going to quickly do is just have a quick run round the wiring. So on the left hand side, remember we saw the XDC connector on the top? Okay, there's two solder points there. That's it. You just solder the plug on. Really straightforwards. We've then got negative and positive, and that goes out to our ESC. That's nice and straightforward. So in other words, our battery power in goes back out to our ESC. And because it's on a model airplane, we've only got the one ESC. So that's nice and simple. So that's 4 solder joints so far. Now, on this board itself, we'll break this into 2 pieces. Number 1 is power supply, and second is video. Okay, so you'll see this red and black wire coming in here. So we've got 12 volts and ground, and that goes off to our video transmitter. So 2 little solder joints, nice and easy. For the FPV camera itself, now I will be using a run cam on this one, and I know the input voltage is also 12 volts. So I could have run that positive line over to that 12 volts over there, or there was a spare pad here which had 12V written on it, so I've hooked it up there. And the ground, there was another ground down here, and it made sense to keep the ground wire with the video wire to keep noise down. And then underneath there, we have, it says cam, believe it or not. Underneath there, it says cam, and that's where the yellow wire goes in to cam, and then underneath there where that says ground, and that's where that brown wire is going. And then for the video transmitter itself, for the video signal to go out, is that we've got another ground pin just there, and then it says VTX, so there's our yellow wire which goes to our video transmitter. Really, really simple, just a couple of solder pads, and that's it. Well, the basic idea is that normally you would have a straight wire going from your FPV camera to your video transmitter. All you're doing is sticking a board in the middle, like that one there, but obviously bigger, which then puts the overlays the on-screen display on top of it, So it just interrupts that wire. It's as simple as that. But actually, in this case, the hub OSD does provide power supply filtering for not only your video transmitter, but also for your FPV camera, which cuts then down on noise on your actual goggles, so your image is nice and clear. I'm sure you would have seen the difference between the Hornet FPV flying wing. That image is always perfect, except for some noise where I've gone behind a tree, for example. Whereas on the Micro SkyHunter, you'll see that when I rev up, I get loads of lines on the screen, and that's because that one's got no filtering in it, whereas my other Hornet has got one of those boards in there. So yeah, really, really simple to do. I will get an episode out on that later, and it has allowed for a very, very slick install. I'm super happy with that one. Well, I'm 90% happy with it. The overall look of it right now before she hits paint is pretty cool. The only screw up I've made is that I've put the bloody receiver on the top, and the second I cut it out, I thought, damn it, I should have put it on the bottom. So yeah, oopsie daisy. Now I did say she's going to paint. We do have some hexagon patterns. We'll cut those out. We still got the other hexagons, and she will get her hexagon spray job today, and it's gonna look sick, absolutely sick. So where are we in the list? So that's the Hornet one. Yeah, she's ready for paint today. She's actually sat in the airing cupboard at the moment. Yeah, we'll get to that one later today. I'll put the latest photos of her in the Facebook group later on today. Next update. Oh yeah. The motor mount accidentally on purpose, well, the motor accidentally on purpose fell off the Micro SkyHunter. And then I just so happened to find one of these in the ESC box, and then wired up myself a little wiring loom. You'll see them. I've put an XT60 connector on the end, hijacked the power lines as well for the video transmitter and the FPV camera. So that's what those extra wires are, and the yellow wire is for the video signal to come from the camera all the way down there, all the way out there, and then goes into the video transmitter. Very neat way, or very simple way of powering both the FPV camera and the video transmitter. But that does seem to, even with the twisted wires, we are still getting noise off the motor, etc, etc. So yeah, I wouldn't mind putting one of those hub OSD boards in there. I may do that at a later date, so hey ho. But I'm sure you're wondering, Matt, why have you taken the motor off? Well, I'd like to say that it fell off. So there was the previous motor. That was the DYS SE2205, 2300 kV motor with the 6x4 prop on it. Absolutely mental, as we saw. And then today, we seem to have had a NTM D20, well, no, what is it? A 2836 motor, 3000 kV, with a 4.5, let me get this right. I'm trying to read on there. Yeah, 4.5 prop by 3, 4 inch. I am actually seriously concerned that I might blow this elevon fin off. The reason why I am that concerned is because just quickly powering this one up to make sure that all the power is working, etc, etc. Not even on like 1/5 throttle, it wants to blow itself off the desk. And that was on 3S. So goodness knows what this is going to be like on 4S. It's going to be bonkers. And like I said, and just a bit of a wildlife in the back of there. Like I said, I am actually seriously concerned that I'm going to blow that elevon fin off the back of here. So I'm going to have to put some pins and stuff in there, because there's going to be so much thrust coming out of the back of here. It should be around about 1.4 kilograms of thrust, something like that. It's going to be mad. And if I do destroy it, don't panic. That yesterday I went on and ordered all the parts again for it, and it cost me about 30 quid. something like that, after I'd sticking some points on it. So yeah, happy days, happy days. Right, next topic. Yeah, last one. Right, we spoke about that one. Hub OSD. I put a link to those in the video description. As you can see, I've already added one into my cart. I'm going to get myself another one because they are really, really good. The last topic for today. Those of you which have been buying the 9-gram plastic gird servos from HobbyKing, now it is showing about £2.61. It could be a little bit cheaper for when you log in. But the point which I want to make is that you can have metal geared servos for less money. I'll put a link to these in the video description. These are the Tower Pro MG90Ss. Now, I can tell you now, I have broken 4 of these, okay? And you've seen, if you've seen any email opening episodes, you know how many of these I've gone through, or been and bought and have stuck in models. So let me recap. I've had one which didn't sound right, so I ripped the lead off and threw it in the bin. Then I broke one with my elbow walking up the slope, so I bashed the elevon and ripped all the gears out. Oops. I had one in the Weasel XP, which went on 2 weekends ago, slope sawing, because I landed it inverted into a barbed wire fence. Oops. And the last, the other one which went, my Zach Speed flying wing got taken out by Andrew's Pluto at about 40-50 mile an hour, straight into the servo. Didn't stand a chance. So I have now officially broken 4 of these servos out of about 60, something like that. I've had a load more arrive here as well. Brilliant servos, nice and torquey. And they will do most models. Obviously, if you're going to be doing something like what I did to my Texumo and completely overpowering it, then you'll need a more beefier servo. But for average use, most normal models, absolute bargain. They work out at about £1.75 each, or about $2.17 each. So cheaper than the cheap HobbyKing servos. So happy days, happy days. So to quickly recap what we've covered today, HobbyKing 12 Day to Christmas have been revealed. It does look like it is coming true because we had bikes today appear on the site. We've got a new sub £15 wing, bit 50-50 on this one at the moment. It definitely does look like it's only meant to be lightly powered, so we'll see how that one does. And I can tell you already, that kind of size wing with that kind of size little fuselage, I am already thinking of alternatives for it, to maybe printing out or making or designing a separate motor mount to go on the back, so we get more like real estate on the top. The other one, brutally honest, is it ever going to compete with the Turnigy Bonsai? No. The Bonsai is just a whole league of its own. The Pop wing is an absolutely amazing wing. Next topic, which we covered, Banggood are sending the Fatbee FB90. What do we have gone there? Oh yeah, remember there is some hope for some new models from HobbyKing. As they said on here, come back every day for a new plain deal in the run-up to, in the lead up to Christmas. Just waiting for the page to reload. Chop, chop, chop. And by the way, this is the HobbyKing website being slow because that's 210 meg broadband. And that's like watching paint dry. So while that's drying, we have, like I said, I'm buying myself another one of those Hub OSD boards. Brilliant. I will get a video episode out on those. Dead simple to wire. And remember, all it's basically, all you're doing is interrupting that video wire, that yellow wire between your FPV camera and the video transmitter. We just got the extra bonus that we've got some power supply filtering to cut down the noise on our video signal. Happy days. Now, has that been finished loading? No more models today. Do check that page later on today. We may have some new goodies on there. The Micro SkyHunter. I really am worried about blowing that elevator fin off. I really am. The Hornet FPV wing is... I'll post the pictures of that one later today, if or when we get around to doing that one today. And metal geared servos. Yeah. Plastic gear, expensive. Metal gear, cheap. Happy days. Happy days. So for myself, Matt, if you are out flying today, have a fantastic time. Like I said, it's winter here in the United Kingdom, and I've got 2 girls, and we've got a school play to go to this morning. I'm sure they're just all so cute. Yeah, very, very cute. I'm really, really looking forward to that. One year I had to miss it because of work, and then for the last couple of years I've gone, and they're just so cute, so cute. So yeah, it's going to be a cool day today. Anyway, like I said, if you're out flying today, have a fantastic day's flying. If you're going to be sat at the desk working, hey ho, join the club for that one. Hopefully the weather's going to be good on the weekend. So from that, I'll spit my words out. As you know, no edits in these coffee mornings. So with that said, for myself, Matt, thank you ever so much for joining me for a coffee this morning, this afternoon, or this evening, depending on where you are in the world. Brilliant. So for myself, Matt, cheerios!